That's just an excerpt. Had to be.
Okay.
That's just a clip from the new movie that's out in theaters.
Talk about it.
This Friday, ladies and gentlemen, playing the role of Marguerite in the movie Just Getting Started. You didn't know. Co-starring with the legendary Morgan Freeman. But you know her from To Sleep with Anger, The Mighty Quinn, Sister Act 2. Many more, Heather. We could.
JJ's girlfriend on Good Times.
There you go. Her most famous role.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I was 12.
Yes. Give it up for Sheryl Lee Roth.
We love
Thank
her.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It is good to be here this morning. You know, I told my daughter that I was coming here. She was just like, oh, I've got to be there. Then she left her computer, so she had to go get her computer. So she missed it by that. She is going to be so disappointed.
Wow. What's your daughter's name?
Coco.
Coco.
But everybody calls her Ivy.
Ivy?
Hi,
Yes.
Ivy.
Ivy.
We love you.
You are always welcome to come up here, Ivy.
Yes.
Okay.
Just bring your mom with you. Pleasure to have you on the show
Thank you.
this morning.
Good to be here with you. Good to be here with you. You know, the last time I was here, we did, I don't know what in the world I said, but it ended up on YouTube.
Yes.
And it has been replayed and
Yes,
replayed and
yes.
replayed. I said, yes.
Yes, you get it
Yes,
now.
mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
You went viral with us.
I went
Yes.
viral
Yes,
with you all.
yes. So I'm
I
glad we
love
could go
it.
viral together.
There you go.
All right.
It's a good thing.
That's a good thing. It sounds like it could be a disease.
No, but you know, sometimes it is.
Tell the truth.
Sometimes it is. And then new strains of these new viruses out there.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
is a new gonorrhea that is just about incurable.
Ooh.
There is syphilis making a comeback, and herpes refuses to leave. And what else is out there? And of course, there is HIV.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, now they
Chlamydia.
say that's about that. It's manageable.
Yeah.
Why the hell you want to manage that
Yes.
is beyond me. But then now they've got PrEP, and then they say, well, you know, PrEP is for hoes. And I'm like, well, see, they used to say the same thing about birth control. Birth control was for hoes. And I'm just like, it's necessary for healthy people that have sex and want to protect themselves in certain ways.
Yes.
I cannot praise enough the use of a condom and how good they are. If you ever run into a partner that says, I don't believe in condoms or I don't do that, you say, I don't believe in STDs and I don't do them.
There.
Thank you.
There it is.
Because it's serious. But that's just
Sheryl
mother
Lee Roth.
talking to you.
Yes.
This
yes.
is your favorite aunt telling you the truth.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
But
Love
look
you,
out.
Auntie Sheryl.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
I wish you could, and I'm not going to ask you to do this, but,
But what?
people need to see your boots.
Oh, yeah, show off.
Oh, hold on.
You're going to do it?
Let's go, honey.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
Hold on. Let me hold you. Hey!
Yes.
And
Yes.
those are not the cheap ones.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
Heather,
because I didn't want the little crepey imitation.
Yeah.
I need crystals, baby. You know, you
There
got
it
to have
is.
that sparkle and
Yes.
shine. Give me my bling. Thank you.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should talk about the movie a little bit.
Okay, great.
So
Great, just getting started.
With Morgan Freeman, and I'm looking at like all these folks you co-star with. We'll
Yes.
start with Morgan Freeman. I want to run them down the line. What is it that a lot of times folks come up here like yourself.
Yeah.
You know, we've been in the business for a long time. At
No,
different
you all have not been in the business for a long
Okay,
time.
okay.
We've been in
In
the
the
business
business
for a
for
long
long
time.
time, okay.
You're just getting started.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
There you go.
I'll take that. Okay, and then people come here, and these are folks I look up to, people I
Yes.
appreciate their work, and then I got to work with them, so to speak.
Yes.
What is that like with a Morgan Freeman?
You know something? I remember when I was first getting started in the industry, my first film was called Piece of the Action with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby. And I remember being 19 years old thinking, this is where I want to be. Because they were just such amazing artists, such incredible talents, you know, Oscar winners, the first black man to win an Emmy on TV, have his own TV show, Mr. Poitier directing, producing, and all of that. And I'm fresh out of college, 19 years old, and my dream is coming true. So it felt so good to me.
Wow.
Felt so good. Now, it was weird with Morgan because I love Morgan.
Okay.
I really do love Morgan. But, you know, it's sort of that avuncular nature that he's got. So to be naked in the bathtub trying to come on to your uncle was sort of like, But it was all right.
Wait, what?
Because I had to do it for the camera. See, you haven't seen the movie yet. Right. You haven't seen the movie yet. So that's, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
But it was all right because it looked good.
It looked good.
Yes, when you're in a movie and the director of photography gets lighting.
Come on.
And lights you like you're a piece of chocolate caramel. And you look at yourself and you say, yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
He even got my toes sparkling. I was like, I love you.
Wow.
So I had a good time.
You had a good
time making that movie, yes.
The Mighty Quinn was one of my favorites too. Denzel
Still one of my
Washington. Still one of your
favorites.
favorites.
Yeah.
Working with Denzel.
Working with Denzel was great. First of all, it was sort of like working with your brother. We're basically twins. Our birthdays are a year and a day apart. He's the 28th, I'm the 30th, year and 2 days. 28th and the 30th, both Capricorns. And it's like artistically, we have the same sort of vision. But at life, we see things differently. But we're going to fight for our cause. So sometimes we kind of lock horns. But it was always with love. And we always had a great relationship. Pauletta, myself, Denzel, and at that time, John David was a baby when we were working together. And now when I see him on Ballers, I'm like, look at John David,
And he's doing great on Ballers.
He's doing great
Yeah.
on Ballers. I just feel so good when I see that. So that was great, too. Who else have I worked with that you like?
Lauryn Hill.
Oh, my gosh.
Sister Act 2.
Working with Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
She was Sweet 16. And she can play the piano, she can sing, she can, she has great production skills as a musical artist. But to see that in a 16-year-old, and she was sitting there in between takes one day, and she was just playing. She said, Miss Ralph, I'm going to have a group. And the name of my group is the Fugees. And we're going to be famous. And she played a chord right after it.
Wow.
And I was like, well, all right, little girl. All right, little girl. But then I added the Fugees. You really want to go with the name, the Fugees? And then she had to break it down to me, the refugees. I was like, see that? See that? That's why I love you. And so now to see her grow up and have her children, beautiful and talented, and her making her come back again, it's just a great thing. Great thing.
Wow.
Who else? Name one more
Ralph.
person.
Okay, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie Murphy was great. Working with Eddie Murphy and Distinguished Gentlemen, that was great. We had a great time. We're both from Long Island. My dad had been his principal at Roosevelt High School.
Wow.
And my dad used to say he has one student he has always loved, but at sometimes he just wanted to break his neck. And I was like, who, Daddy, who? He said, Eddie Murphy.
Why?
Because I think Eddie was always about playing games and just torturing teachers and the principals and all of that. And also, who else was another one of his students? Oh, my God, with the big clock on his chest.
Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav. He was also one of my dad's students, and he said that was just another one. He said I used to just look at him and say, Flavor, please just comb your hair, and get to class on time. But anyway,
Well, I
those
got
were the
one more.
days.
Hold up,
One
hold up.
more. Who else?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Working with Robert De Niro in Mistress. Now, that was an interesting turning point for me because he and I were doing this film, Mistress, and we were once again in between takes, sitting in the red car, and he looked at me and he said, you're really good. Now, this was about 24 years ago. He said, you're really good. He said, you're like award-winning good, and people should see you. But I am sorry to tell you, Hollywood is not looking for the black girl.
Oh, wow.
So he said this to me. He just said this to me. If I ever knew he really loved black women, I knew it that moment.
Yeah.
He said, you better climb that mountain, wave the red flag, and let them know you're there because you're that good. And I was like, damn. I was happy and depressed all at the same time. But he just made it real for me. And that just lit a fire in me that I will forever climb that mountain, wave that flag, and let them know that I am here and doing my thing.
Sheryl Lee Ralph,
thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I want to open up the phone lines, give people a chance to talk to you, and then
All
we're going to come
right.
back and ask you some more questions, okay?
Great.
Great to have you
'Cause
here.
I got answers.
Yeah, I know you do. Sway in the morning, Shade 4 or 5. Go ahead, Sheryl Lee Ralph.
Oh, my God.
If you want to, the mic is there.
No.
You want to go?
I tell you, I say to myself, I sound like a chipmunk on speed.
No.
You know, it's just, and that is that pop sound.
Yeah.
That is the way. You see that I even have that ringtone here.
Yeah, that's your
in my
ringtone,
phone.
right?
Just
Who's
basically, yes.
calling? We got a policy. If they call, you just answer it.
No, I
On
can't.
speaker.
I
Okay,
can't because
okay.
you know that's how people see you on the Wendy Williams show, and all of a sudden your phone just blows right the heck up.
Yeah. That
And
happens.
everybody's like, I'm like, honey, I left you 3 messages, and you're calling me. Why are you calling me now?
Because they see you
Because
popping.
you saw me. And that's how that goes.
They see you popping.
And I don't like that. I'm like, I like
But
you.
you
We're
still-
talking to each other.
Yeah.
Answer me. It's this day and age. You can text me back if you don't want to talk.
Yes.
That's a new language.
Mhm.
Just don't call me because I'm hot.
Yeah.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why. This is why. This is why I'm hot. That's why you're not. Anyway.
Remix.
What's up, Wonder? You want to add to this? Turn Wonder's mic on for me. Go ahead, Wonder.
Thank you.
That's DJ Wonder.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hello, DJ
Hey,
Wonder.
how you doing?
I'm good.
Before you did this, what did you come up singing? What style of music?
Oh my gosh! You know, I was that kid that was looking in the mirror, thinking I was a 3 degree. You ever hear of the 3 degrees?
Yeah.
The sound of Philadelphia.
Yes.
When will I see you again? Ooh. All of that. I
Perfect.
loved that.
That's exactly what I might have thought, because that sounds like great music. Now, this is a very polarizing time when this song came out, because everyone was doing Europop style beats, synthesizer, and everything else, and they took a lot of Motown artists and put people like the Last Dragon soundtrack, stuff like that. How did you feel having to get on a track like that? It was popping at the time, so it was probably fine, but it seems like it was a change from the soul music.
It was a big change from soul music, but it happened to be a genre that fit me well. You know, my voice fit well into that, you know, that popish sort of sound, you know. What's strange about that sound, those vocals, is they remix those vocals like every other year and put the song out again in different versions, which I find absolutely fascinating. And I'm going to really search hard for my money, but it was probably another one of those bad contracts where, you know, you got paid for your studio time. But music is always evolving. So we're now in a point where I say to myself, where are the vocalists? Where are the singers? You know, because they're getting fewer and farther in between. But then I realized the other day, it's not that they're getting fewer and far between. It's just that what they're selling to people doesn't allow people to sing anymore. They have a different style. And it's not that that different style is better or worse than anything else. I just long to hear people sing. That's why I do Divas every year, to keep singing alive, to keep the real art of the voice alive. Everybody's got their time. I was in Europop. Thank you.
Thank you.
In case you didn't know, DB,
Thank
you got a
you.
question for me?
Yeah, because you also star in this movie Just Getting Started with Tommy Lee Jones and Joe Pantoliano,
Yeah.
among other people, and rest in peace to Glenn Hadley, who passed away.
Glenn Headley was such an amazing person. She was a good human being. I would never have thought that would be the last time I would really see Glenn like that. I mean, she was like I found a new BFF, best friend forever and ever. And she called me one day. I was doing Wicked last year. We were talking and we were laughing, and she was dead the next day. She was gone.
Really?
Yeah, she was dead. To this moment, I do not know what has happened. Her family has been very quiet about that, but she was really, really, really a good person. But I'm sorry, I was interrupted.
Yeah, I
Go
didn't
ahead.
mean to switch from something that serious, but with Tommy Lee Jones and Joe Pantoliano, they both starred together in The Fugitive
Yes.
and U.S. Marshals. I was just wondering if people were making jokes like, you know, saying lines from the movies or anything like that with them.
People would say lines behind the scene, but on the screen, you don't mess with Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, really?
He is that kind of a dude.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. He's a Mensa man, very smart, very intelligent. He might talk about his cowboy hat with you. He might talk about his very unique boots with you. But other than that, he's very quiet. And you don't interrupt his flow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You brought up divas and you brought up sex, safe sex.
Yes.
And it's
I love it. You say, you brought up divas and you brought up sex.
Sex.
Yes.
Yes, I said divas and sex, but it's a 27th anniversary of Divas, right?
Yes.
Simply Singing, right? And there's a HIV/AIDS concert or
Yes.
yes.
I've been doing this for 27 years. You know, it all started for me as an original company member of Dreamgirls on Broadway, and my friends just started dropping dead of this mysterious disease. But more than that, I saw how hateful people could be towards other people.
Yeah.
And it was, for me, it was awful. The little church girl in me was like, we can do better than this. People are sick and dying. How can we turn our backs on them?
Yeah.
So I created Divas Simply Singing to bring real divas together to combat, to combat AIDS, because we didn't know about HIV, then. So to combat that, and it's the 27th year. We're the longest consecutive running musical AIDS benefit in the country, and the 27th is taking place December 9th, this Saturday,
Yes.
in Los Angeles at the Taglian, and people can go to Eventbrite, search Divas Simply Singing, get their tickets, or show up and buy their tickets at the door.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
Because I grew up
Thank
in the
you.
Bay Area, so I grew
Thank
up in
you.
Oakland and San Francisco Bay
Oh,
Area. So
wow.
we were witnessing a lot of that early on in
Yeah,
life.
you were.
And people didn't know what it was all about.
That's right.
Yeah, so I commend you for
Thank you.
27th anniversary.
Yeah,
That's
because
commitment.
for me, right now, at this point in my life, I feel so awful
Yeah.
that this disease could now circle back and become a young person's disease once again. HIV is not herpes.
Yeah.
HIV is not pregnancy. HIV is a change to your life. Yes, people are living longer. Yes, there is medication for this disease, but it is still almost 100% preventable. It still doesn't have to happen. So I think to myself, what message am I not letting young people know when I say put yourself first, when I say protect yourself? One time can be the time, and this is not what you want. And I've met too many young people that said, you saved my life, Miss Ralph. Now I know I'm positive. And I'm like, no, I didn't want you to be positive.
Yeah.
I know you got it when I said get tested. I now know you know that's important, but get tested before the fact. Figure out your sexual footprint. People say, well, why do you talk about sex? Because I like it.
Hey.
Because if you get to have it and it's good, you're going to have it again.
Yes.
And it should not be the thing that really changes your life for the worst. It should be something that you get to enjoy without thinking, damn, was that the one? And you can't tell who has anything in it.
Yes.
You can't just look at somebody and think, oh, that's fine, or that's fine. You just don't know who's carrying the ish, whatever the ish might be. Folks have all kinds of things and have had them for thousands of years. So, if you read old Shakespeare things, they were talking about condoms back then. Except it was sheepskin.
Yeah.
But now we can't even use sheepskin because they're porous. So it just comes out of the doggone condom. I'm like, y'all, please.
Wow.
Get yourself some latex and use it.
There, Sheryl Lee Ralph, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big weekend for you.
Yes, it is.
Just getting started. Make sure you go to the theaters Friday. Watch her in that with Morgan Freeman. And the following day, be a part of Divas Simply Singing in a concert in Los Angeles.
December 9th.
December 9th. And you could go online where?
You can go online to Eventbrite. Go to Divas27 at Eventbrite.com. Or is it Divas17? One of the two. And
Okay.
if you forget all of that, go to thedivafoundation.com. Thedivafoundation.com. Press it and they'll direct you right to it. Or go to my Instagram,
And that is?
which I love. My Instagram is Diva3482. Diva3482. And there's a link right in my bio. You
Yes.
can get your tickets. There you go. You want to be there?
Oh, man.
You wanna be there?
just made
Braxtons
my
are coming.
morning. Oh, man.
I love
I'm
it.
telling people you my best friend.
Thank
All right, you in my
Touch
friend
me.
circle.
Thank
All right, okay.
you. Yes.
We want to thank Big Crip for coming by,
Yeah.
too. Make sure you get the new album, Forever is a Long Time. He's doing it independent,
Yes,
so
it
you
is.
you got to support him. Tomorrow's show, who we got, DB?
JB Smooth.
Okay. That's
Kid
the-
Capri.
Yes.
DJ Drama.
Yes.
And Dawoon King.
Okay, that's
All
all
right.
tomorrow. Sheryl Lee Ralph, thank you for coming through
Thank
this
you.
morning. Tell Ivy I said hello.
Ivy Coco 23.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay, and Heather, how can they reach you?
At the happy hour, WHB.
Twitter, Instagram for me at It's Tracy G, ITSTRACYG.
It's really DB everywhere.
OQ Shoots on Instagram.
At DJ Wonder tonight, Animal Status right here on Shade 45, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, I'm at Real Sway across the board. You can see all these interviews on Sway's Universe. If you want to hear it back to all our subscribers, go to SiriusXM.com.
/on demand.
And we want to say congratulations to Nick Caution. He will be on our Doomsday Cypher next week. Sean Smith from Philly, he will be on too. Tomorrow we'll make another announcement. Until then, we have nothing.
I love it. We have nothing
left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.